Yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celeb news. Now, today we got Twitter going in on Adele. Celeb news, y'all, celeb news. DMX bumping into a legend. We got Mariah Carey on Eminem. Lloyd Banks' response to Rick Ross, a response to Lil Durk, Nick Cannon, and Kanye West. Yes, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source. If this is your first time to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Yo, a lot of folks bumped into our community section question, which asked the question, what are your thoughts on the 19 black families that bought up 90 acres of land in Georgia to create a safe city for black people? And folks came through in the comment section and hit us up with their thoughts. Yo, be sure to see us with your knowledge down below if you still have some thoughts on that. In fact, consider this. The black guy that moves in with his white wife. Yo, how'd that play out? You take that one into consideration. Let us know down below. Now, first on deck is Adele, who looks like a completely different person. But I'm not talking about her weight. Shorty wore an outfit to England's Notting Hill Carnival, which is a cultural festival honoring Caribbean and black heritage. Okay, that's cool. I'm cool with that, right? I always liked Adele. But when she showed up, right, take a look. Shorty's rocking Bantu knots. Now, there's no law that says she can't do that, right? I mean, and as you could have guessed, Black Twitter burst into flames, calling cultural appropriation. African and Caribbean Twitter was like, Black Americans are a bit too sensitive about this. Now, let me give you a scenario, right? Imagine we lived in a house together, and in the house, our parents or guardians, or whatever you want to call them, were tearing my behind up for years, just for breathing. And then when I start tripping, having psychological breakdowns from things that have no intention of harm, someone from outside the house is like, yo, you too sensitive, bro. You too sensitive. Now, look, I don't know. Maybe my illustration is poor. Everybody want to be a ninja, but nobody want to be a ninja. Appropriation, ignore the significance and belittle it as a trend. Appreciation, honor and respect the culture as a way of gaining knowledge and understanding. Whatever. Folks lost it, okay? One commenter came through and said, it is never okay for white girls to wear hairstyles like Bantu knots, cornrows, or braids. I don't care what anybody says. Certain black hairstyles are protective hairstyles, not a trend or an aesthetic to make you look more ethnic. What are you trying to protect, Karen? Now, another commenter came through and said, you want to participate in blackness, but without the burden that comes with blackness. If you don't get lost, look, I'm speechless. Anyway, Lil Mama found herself in the midst of two hip-hop legends, okay? Now, DMX and MC Lyte graced her presence. Remember MC Lyte, part of the first generation of female artists, and she kept her clothes on and got love. Now, it's a little bit of a different generation today. DMX was being his normal self, level 11, Super Saiyan power level 9,000. I think that's pretty high, right? And Lil Mama asked DMX to spit a verse for MC Lyte. Now, take a listen to what he had to say.
Now, really it is. But for me, it's going,
Go ahead, dog. Get your
I'm
shit,
going
man.
from a different angle on it. But like, yeah, that bitch, I was told it was cracked. It was real. It was real.
I got you. Wow. Get your crib.
Like, you shouldn't hook?
Do something for her right quick, X. Hit her.
I used to be in love with this guy named Sam. I don't know why, because he had the hair like that of a clan. But they couldn't tell me nothing to say. It was number one. Oh my God, he was. What? What? I said it. Right from the start that he'll be using for money and then break my heart, but like a fool in love. I thought it was game, but I got mine, so I showed no shame and that fire.
She been getting hit all day, right on?
This show where we always to go.
In case you don't know, right, the verse he spit was actually MC Lyte's verse from her album Light as a Rock on a song titled I Crammed to Understand You, her song about drug addiction and its impact on relationships. And mind you, the song was her first single debut back in '88. Yo, I know what you're thinking. She looks fabulous. How old is she? That's besides the point. DMX repped and gave her flowers now. Respect. And she's 49. Right, she looks incredible. Now, we shouldn't be focused on her looks, but damn, yo, she gonna be 50, y'all. Yeah, you like older women, bruh. Okay? Now, Mariah Carey has an upcoming autobiography coming out called The Meaning of Mariah Carey. No, she's not self-centered, okay? An insider to US Weekly stated that Eminem was concerned about the release of the autobiography. They stated, quote, Eminem's Achilles heel has always been Mariah Carey. They had a very toxic relationship, close quote. Folks, I'm not saying her, but I strongly believe that hooking up with some people can be a blessing, and hooking up with some people can be a curse. Whatever. The insider continues. They say, quote, Eminem knows that Mariah is going to say very negative things about him. He is expecting the onslaught and almost welcomes it. Marshall is stressed out that Mariah is going to say that he was bad in bed or a selfish lover because he has always been very insecure about that, the insider says. She knows that. Close quote. Insider. If we didn't know those particular details before, you just told us. He doesn't have to be concerned about Mariah. He has to be concerned about you. You just told us this. Now, in an interview with New York Mag, the question was asked about Eminem, and Mariah stated the following. She said, quote, there's some songs that I could sing in response to that, but I will not do it. And when they asked her about her relationship with M, she stated, quote, if somebody or something didn't pertain to the actual meaning of Mariah Carey, as is the title, then they aren't in the book. Close quote. Mariah with the subtle shade. Yo, it could have been much worse. I mean, I guess with a response like that, it could have been much worse. But then again, the book hasn't dropped yet. Yo, I feel like I can see M right now biting his nails. We reported to you a few stories back that Rick Ross had some words for your boy, Lloyd Banks. He was just minding his business, you know what I'm saying? And that's what gets me. If you missed it, Rick Ross threw a couple of Molotov cocktails in Banks' direction, talking about, quote, Banks, you still got money? Show us what you living like. If you ain't got no money, I'll give you $5,000 for the Banks name. That might be one of my aliases. Dank Sinatra, close quote. But as if that wasn't enough, he came back for Banks, talking about, if you decide to drop another album or EP, I got a good title of it for it. And then he says, victim of circumstance. Victim of circumstance. Yo, you gotta admit, this dude be coming through with the jokes. Victim of... Folks were sitting around hoping against hope that Banks would come back and drop a response lyrically to Rose. And that's all the people really want, right? Rappers trolling and battle rapping other rappers and artists. Unfortunately, the mental deficient around the culture take battle raps and the like a bit too seriously and want to take it to another level, messing it up for all of us. It's like slap boxing with somebody who starts losing and takes it seriously. Couldn't stand those people. Now, here we are having a friendly game. Look, whatever. Lloyd Banks had this to say. He said, quote, I'll never join the circus, so don't expect it from me. Peace and love. Close quote. Taking the high road and giving Rose back his red nose and curly rainbow hair and showing him that the circus is that-a-way, pointing towards the White House. Now, word on the street is Lloyd Banks has indeed been looking for some instrumentals, so it may be that he's looking to drop something in the near future. Yo, not too long ago, right, Lil Durk came through on the gram and stated that someone from 6ix9ine's team contacted him and offered him $3 million to spark some fraudulent beef with the Troll King, to which Lil Durk declined. Wow, talk about integrity. Now, he refused to be fake for a bag. I can respect that. Quite the temptation. Now, Lil TJ came out the cut and stated that the same thing happened to him when he said, quote, they did the same thing to me. F his money, close quote. Wow, these dudes right here. When will people get it through their skulls? Some folks just can't be bought. Now, in a stunningly creative move, to which I mean the complete opposite, 6ix9ine has now stated that it was in fact himself that was offered $5 million to jump on a track with Durk. Yo, take a listen.
Some bum ass niggas label called me talking about, yo, let's fly you out to LA. You see, we in LA, we just got in from Chicago. They're like, yo, fly out to LA and help promote his album. I said, wow, what's wrong with his album? They said his last album flopped. I said, how did it flop? They said only sold 45K. We doing everything we could do to help him. We got him a Drake feature. We did all the above and he's just flopping. Niggas selling 45K thinking they can compete with me. So since we lying, they try to pay me $5 million. They try to pay me $5 million. Can you believe that? Oh, by the way, we in LA right now. Come get this building. You see that Maxwell building? Look, right here. Let me get y'all a head start. I'm in the hills, Hollywood Hills. You heard? Right, Murph?
We're here. Again.
Last one's a riot neck.
First come, first serve.
Looks a bit forced, didn't it? Talk about Durk needed Drake to get to number 2 when it's clear that 6ix9ine needed Minaj to get to number 1. Yo, look, I'm not a big fan of covering the story, but what kind of news would I be if I didn't cover it? You need to know what's going on, man. Come on. Now, Nick Cannon, who bumped heads with Viacom, has had a sit down with none other than Kanye West and spoke a bit about the agenda of the media to create a divide between people of color by attempting to bait him into saying something negative about Ye. Now, Cannon came back with, you got to wake up pretty early in the morning to catch me on some divisiveness with my brother Ye. Yo, take a listen to what Cannon had to say.
You know, I see this white man come up to me and just stick a camera in my face like, all right, here you go. He about to ask about all this stuff. And then when he saw he had no entry because I had an answer for him every time just based off of my own atonement, then he was like, well, what about Kanye West? And I was like, okay, this is like what Malcolm X talks about the media. They try the people being oppressed and loving the oppressors. So I'm already in that zone. And then as soon as he bring your name up, I was like, I'm not going to let this man try to make me ridicule my brother based off of something that he knows is going to be clickbait bad about any other black person in public, especially in media, but especially somebody that I love and consider my brother.
And finally, Kanye West has sat down with Nick Cannon to discuss whether he's being paid to thwart the Democrat agenda, to which Kanye replied, can't nobody pay me. I got more money than Trump. Touche. Yo, folks forget, Ye has generational wealth in spades. Yo, take a listen to what Ye had to say.
They've called both of us coons. They've called us crazy. They call all of these names. Like I saw somebody I love dearly playing and acting like we're toys or playing with our toys and we need to take our toys and go back home.
My last name's a slave name.
Right.
Where is home exactly, Stephen?
They saying that they paying you to do what you're doing to be a distraction.
Bro, can't nobody pay me.
You got more money than Trump.
I got more money than Trump.
But, yo, you know how we do here, right? I looked it up. Kanye and Kim have approximately, right, $4.1 billion. Just to give you and I could be wrong, right? Just fact check me, whatever. But just to give you context, if you spent $550,000 every day for the next 20 years, you would not touch Kanye and Kim's bag. 20 years. I know, you like, yo, man, I'm in the wrong business. Yo, let us know what you think. What are your thoughts about the black community in Georgia? Do we need one in every state? Are there other ideas comparable to that we haven't even thought of yet? Yo, please let us know in the comments below. Be sure, you never know who could be listening to your to the content, looking through the comments, bumping to your idea. They actually have a bag to pull off what you said. Yo, man, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, make sure you comment down below. Check us on our community page. Thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celeb news.